Right.
And they're not like, I've had Polar and they're a bit more intuitive. Garmin, I don't find that intuitive. So yeah.
I nearly threw it out of the window on Christmas Day. Lance said, you should have had a bloody Apple. I said, Apple costs too much money. And he said,
Yeah.
if you can't just get on and work it out like that. And he said, if you're having to look at the manual and then go back and, I was so stressed with it. I just couldn't get it set up at all really well.
Let's get started, everyone. We can have a little running Garmin chat as a separate meeting another day. Right. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to start with our hips. Okay, get moving. So pop your feet just outside your hip width. Okay, and then just drop your knees, hold for a second, and then switch over to the other side. I think I just pressed record. Let me check. Yeah, I think it's recording. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to start with our 90-90s and do our push-pulls in our 90-90, and then that will probably take most of your half hour, to be honest. And then we'll just do like a little movement flow to finish off, which will attack hip flexors, calves, and hammies. So you got a little bit of best of both worlds. And then what we'll do each week is I'll change the start. So we'll change the push-pull each week, and then you just learn. And you can take it away and do it after all of your running. Good. So keep moving through this. Just note how you're feeling. Oh, we were actually going to do a little retest of our squat, actually. Let's do that now. All right, so everyone come up to standing. Just see how you feel in a squat. Like, how are you feeling this morning? How do you feel? Just as a little check, and we'll check in at the end. If you're fairly good at squatting, let's have a go at a Cossack and just see how you're feeling, what's tight, what feels loose, any little niggles or pains. And we'll retest it at the end and see how you feel. All right, come on back down to your 90-90. So what we want is this front leg to be in a 90-degree angle here, 90 degrees at your hip, and then 90 degree in the back leg. If you struggle, pop a yoga block under your butt, and that will just like lift you up slightly. Okay, we're going to take a nice deep breath. Lean in as far into this stretch as you can. Okay, so chest towards shin. Keep a nice flat back. Leaning over that front shin. We're just going to hold this. Make sure you're in your end range, so as far as you can go, but no rounding your back like this. Okay, keep your chest up nice and tall. Leaning over. Almost like you're trying to get your chest to the floor in front of your shin. Okay, so what we're going to do now is push our ankle down into the ground. Okay, so just start nice and gently. I'm going to do this for 20 seconds. Keep pushing that ankle down. Try and increase the intensity of the push a little bit more. We're really just going from like a 30 to a 50%. Keep pushing that ankle, that knee down into the ground. And then what I like to do now is stay in that position, just put my hand on my knee and then try and pull my knee up into my hand. So you're trying to pull that whole shin up away from the floor. Keep pulling. 3, 2, 1, and then relax and see if you can breathe. You can sink lower into that stretch. Okay, hold it there. Just test you're at your end range there. Hopefully you moved a little bit further. I'm just trying to get my stopwatch started. There we go. Okay, we're going to go for a push again. So we're going to push that whole shin down into the ground. I'm going to push for 20 seconds. Push the heel down, knee down, whole shin pushing into the ground. Increase that a little bit more, so you're up to that 50, 60, 70%. Last 5 seconds. Keep breathing. And stay in that position, but try and pull your whole shin up and away from the floor. So you're trying to like pull your shin towards your chest, but stay in that position. I'm sweating, by the way, because I literally just got in from my run and showered. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, so breathe, but stay in that position. You can use your hands to support you. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so hopefully you can sink a little bit further into that stretch now. You should be feeling this all in your like hips, glute, no knee pain. All right, last round. Okay, so let's go for a big strong push. Push that shin down into the ground. Really feel your hip working, all those muscles around your hip pushing really strong now. So that's 70 or 80% effort, pushing into the floor. Last 5 seconds. Really strong. Push, push, push. Breathe. 2, 1. And then pull that shin up towards your chest. Pulling, so you're reversing that motion. Trying to lift your ankle off the floor. 3, 2, 1, and rest. So that's your last bit. Just sink into that stretch as low as you can and sit yourself up. You right there, Lance?
I was just about to say we're not muted, are we?
No, I just realised you weren't muted. It's good. I can. All right, so now you're sitting up nice and tall. This might be a stretch for some of you. What you want to try and do is rotate your torso so you're facing forwards. And you might feel that down the front of that back leg now. Okay, what we're going to do is not lean, but look over that shin again, the front shin, and we're going to try and lift our back ankle now. Okay, so we're aiming for this. You might not lift your ankle, that's okay. All right, but just try and get that feeling of lifting your ankle up. You'll feel that in the back glute now. Okay, so just going to go for 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So lifting that back heel off, or thinking about lifting it off. 2, 1, and yeah, you might cramp, and relax for 5 seconds. I'm just going to mute you. You can have a cramp in silence. All right, and off we go. Lift that back heel. We're going to do 3 sets of 5 seconds. 2, 1, and relax. Rest it out. Show you a little shake. And last one, off you go. Lift that back ankle. Keep that chest up this time. You don't want to lean forwards on this one. So we're trying to keep up nice and tall. 2, 1, and rest. Well done. So that gets that activated. So Cassie, if you're feeling that cramping, it just means you've got to do a little bit more of it. Just try and get that isolated movement a bit more. Yeah. All right, so lean back. Let's go some 90-90s just to ease that leg off. Pretty intense. All right. So main focus here, we're going to switch to the other side now, is keep your breathing. Okay, so make sure you're not holding your breath at all. All right, team, I'm a lot worse on this side. Here we go. So you're going to lean over that shin, bring your chest towards the floor in front of you. Why is Joe not stretching then? All right, just so make sure you're in your end range here, so as far as you can, but in a good position, so chest is like kind of up and over that shin. You can hold on to the floor if you want. Okay, we're going to go push. All right, so push that ankle down into the ground. Just start nice and gently. Off you go. So push the heel and that knee, that whole shin down into the ground, trying to increase that intensity to about 40%, 50%. Keep pushing, keep breathing. 2, 1, and then pull that shin towards your chest. Okay, so it's almost like you're trying to lift this whole shin off the floor. I like putting my hand on my knee and just pulling up into my hand while I'm pressing down. 3, 2, 1, and relax into that stretch. See if you can go like a little centimeter lower, with that chest towards the floor. Just hold it there, take a nice deep breath. Okay, we're going to go again with the push. So push that whole shin down into the ground. We're around that 50% mark. Keep pushing, another 10 seconds. About 60, 70% now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease that off. And then imagine you are pulling this whole shin up into your chest. Having a little look, everyone's in the right position. And relax. So sinking a little bit lower into that stretch. Okay, and last one. So take a nice deep breath before we start. This is a tough one. Okay, here we go. 20 seconds, pushing that whole shin down into the ground. Keep pushing really strong now. So this should be about 70–80% effort. Keep it building through the 20. Last 5. Push, push, push. A strong effort now. 3, 2, 1. And then last little pull. Okay, so get all those opposite muscles contracting to pull that leg up off the floor. Obviously, it's probably not lifting off the floor. That's okay. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Last little stretch. See if you can get a little bit lower. Nice work. Okay, come on up. Breathe. Yeah, I'm sweating. Okay, so this is a nice little stretch just for the back leg here. All right, Cass, let's see if you cramp on this side as well. Okay, so you turn back to face that front shin. And what we're going to do is try and lift this back heel off the ground without leaning forward. Okay, so sit up nice and tall as you can. Lift that heel, or imagine you're lifting that heel. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Yeah. Even if you can't lift the heel, you feel these muscles working, right? Yeah, I can see you all like, oh, cramp. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Sit up nice and tall. Last one. Squeeze it up as high as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, you can just do a couple of side to sides. And then what we're going to do now is just bring your feet together into a little butterfly. Okay, you can just relax and breathe after that quite intense one. Okay, so I like to use my elbows just to push my knees down into the ground. Have a play around with what feels nice. You can pull your heels right up to your bum if you want. Should feel nice and open after that. Good, we'll just stay here for a little bit longer. All right, so we're going to go into a bit more of a movement flow now, so a little bit more relaxed, less intense. All right, so let's bring our right leg forward. Okay, so you're going to come into a right leg lunge. I'll show you from a little side position here. So just get into something comfy. Like if you struggle to get this low, what you might want is like a little chair to hold on to, or like some blocks or books, cushions, just to have under your hands here. Okay, so you're going to have both hands on one side. I'm just going to relax into this lunge here. Okay, what we're going to do is try and get your chest up a little bit taller. And we're going to just drop the left hip down towards the floor. Okay, so my right knee is going to push out to the side. My left hip's going to drop down to the floor. So I'm fairly comfortable in this lunge position, so I'm all right, just like reaching up on my fingertips. Right knee drops out, left hip drops down to the floor. So it's like little pulses almost. You'll feel that in your left hip flexor. Team, any issues, or if you're not feeling something in the right place or something feels a bit off, just unmute yourself, let me know. So you're dropping this left hip down to the floor is your aim here. Let me show you from here so you can see this knee comes out. There's like a little rotation there. Couple more. Doing 10 little pulses or so. Good, and let's change to the left side. Just switch those legs over. You want your back knee quite far away from you in this one. And I untuck the back toe as well. So left knee is going to drop out, right hip just going to drop to the floor. I notice, especially after the road running, that my hip flexors just not flare up, but just get really tight. This will just get into them for you a little bit more. Good, a couple more here. Let me do a time check. Lovely. Okay, so what we're going to do next is something called a sciatic nerve glide. So this is just going to open up the back of our legs. So you can watch one if you want. I'm going to look like this. So I'm going to have like a 90-degree angle here, foot is flexed, and I hold onto the back of my leg. Okay, and as I lift my leg, I'm going to point my toe and then come back down. Okay, so straighten, point, come back down. All right, so if that's easy for you, what you can do is as you straighten and point, you can bring your chin tucked into your chest. So it's going to go for 10 on each side. So come into that position. So you're going to straighten, leg, point, and come back down. That's where my headphones come off. So just work your way through 10 of these. Straighten, point, come back down. Flex the foot at the bottom. Tuck that chin into the chest as you're straightening the leg if you want a little bit extra. I got 2 more. Keep breathing. Good stuff. If you struggle to straighten your leg, what you can do is bend the other leg so you're not in such a tough position on your back. All right, when you're done, switch sides. So we go into our left leg. So it starts 90 degrees, flex foot, straighten, point, and drop back down. So it's nice and relaxed on the way back down. Point and straighten at the top. Keep going for your 10. Just take your time in this. You can have a little breather if you get done. And then on 5. Nice deep breath, team. Good. Little squeeze, point, hold at the top. And relax on the way back down. Don't forget you can tuck that chin in to your chest. And then relax that on the way back down as well. All right, good stuff. When you're done, we're coming back into a right leg lunge. Okay. So right leg lunge. If you can reach the floor, you can just like push fist through the floor. Okay, you want your chest up nice and tall. Okay, pop your left hand a little bit further in front. And this time we're going to hold our hip drop down to the floor. So I'm going to push my right knee out and I'm going to hold that hip down to the floor. I'm going to turn my chest to face the knee. I'm going to turn around so I can see you. Look. Yeah, lovely. But keep that chest up. If you drop your chest, we're not getting the hip flexor stretch we want. So bring your chest up. That's it. You'll notice you can feel that a lot more in your chest now. But you'll want like a hand resting on the floor just to give you some support. Good. Nice deep breath here. Make sure that hip's low. This knee can push out. If that's enough of a stretch for you, hold it there. We're going to do another 20 seconds. But if you want more, add a challenge of reaching for that back foot. Don't overstretch anything here. If that's enough of a stretch for you, just hold it there. Try and breathe. Try and relax. Good. Nice deep breath in through your nose. Fill the belly up with air. And relax. Good. Keep the chest up. Get into that hip flexor. And let go of the back knee if you've got it. Okay, I'm going to go into a little bit of a hamstring one now. So we're going to bring one hand on each side of the foot. Okay, chest is up in this position, and we're going to straighten the top leg as we keep our chest up though. Okay, bring this toe towards you. So that's the aim of the game, to bring that toe towards you. Come out of it into your lunge to ease off, and then sit back. Really flex that toe, try and pull that toe up towards you each time. We're just going to do 5 of these. So lunge forward, chest is up, pull the toe towards you. That's the important bit, pulling that toe. Good. Number 4. Good. Pull the toe. And then on your 5th one, we're just going to hold for 10 seconds and really strong, pulling that toe back towards you. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. That's a nice one for that hammy, and should get a little bit of calf. We're going to change to the other side. Left leg's in front now. Where can I see you? That's it. Send that right leg back. You want your chest up nice and tall. So you're feeling that in your right hip flexor. Okay, and then you're going to turn, let that knee, left knee is going to fall out to the side. Chest is up nice and tall. Right hip almost drops down towards the floor. You might feel this a little bit like lower back. Good, and just breathe. Nice deep belly breath. Well done. See if you can relax into that. So that's it. If that's enough of a stretch for you, stay there for 20 seconds. If not, you want a little bit more, grab that back foot. You can grab toe, ankle, and have a play around with where you're feeling that stretch. Like, where do you want that foot? If you pull it towards your butt, you get a little bit more of an intense stretch. Woo-hoo. So just wherever's comfy, wherever feels good for you. Nice deep breath. And come on out of that. We've got our hamstring on this side. Okay, so one hand on each side of the foot. And if it helps, you might want like something to hold on to as well on this one, because that hammy is quite hard to get into if you're not as mobile. So sit back, pull that toe towards you, and then ease off back into the lunge, keeping that chest up, and go back. Toe towards you, and we're going to go for 5 of these. This is number 3. Don't forget to keep that chest up nice and tall. Oh, try and relax those faces. Okay, so nice relaxed face means you're relaxed, means your muscles are relaxing. 4, and number 5, so have your little lunge, sit back, and then really pull that toe towards you for 10 seconds. Keep pulling, really strong. Pull, 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 pull. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Well done. Okay, nasty stuff done. Okay, so just a little bit of gentle stuff to finish off with. We're going to go into a down dog. Okay, this is going to get the back of our legs, so those hamstrings, calves. So it's not a proper yoga down dog. What we're just going to focus on is getting as much stretch in the back of our legs as we can. Okay, so play around with that. Get your hips as high as you can. Get as much weight through the back of your legs as you can. Okay, so don't really worry about your shoulders so much. Hips are high. You can bend your knees. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Bend your knees and then straighten. Bend and straighten and just pulse through that. We'll go 5 to 10 times. We're just going to hang out here. That's it. Relax the head and neck and just make sure you've got as much stretch through the back of those legs as you can. You can alternate sides So like drop one knee and push the other heel down into the ground. So you're like padding heel to heel. Okay, last few seconds. Try and go for a little dip and straighten. Push those heels down into the ground. Nice deep breath into your belly. And breathe out. When you breathe out, come into a plank position. Okay, you're going to lower yourself down to the floor. Okay, and then we're going to untuck our toes and press up into an up dog. If that's too much for you, if you can't do that, you can go on your elbows. Absolutely fine. Okay, just try and sink your hips into the floor in this position. You can have a little look around for that, for your feet. Look over one side, look over the other. It's really good check-in for the body, see how that's feeling. Hopefully those hip flexors are feeling quite loose. Chest up nice and tall. Just do a couple more, look around side to side. Okay, when you take a nice deep breath in, lower yourself back down. You're going to lift your bum up, sit back on your heels, but take your knees wider. Okay, so knees are wide, toes are together, sit back on your heels and reach your hands forward. Okay, so heels should be, you should be sat on your bum. Reach your hands forward. Stretch those hands as far away from you as you can. We're just going to hold it here for a minute. I want you to focus on your breathing. Okay, I want you to breathe through your nose. I want you to breathe all the way into your belly. Not just your chest, all the way down into the belly. And then breathe out all the air you can. And this is just going to decompress your spine. Not really our focus today, but running does have a lot of impact on your spine. So it's just nice to have a little decompress and reset. Good. We got another 10 seconds. So nice deep breath. Good. And come on out of that. I mean, you can stay there if you want. You can stay there as long as you like. It's quite nice to finish with a little bit of breathing. Slayers, stay in there. All right, so what I want you to do is, if you feel all right, take your time, come on up to standing, and I want you to just retest that squat. So like, I feel just as mobile, but I do feel a little bit less friction or tightness in my hip flexor. I have a particularly tight right hip flexor. And I feel a little bit less crunchy in my Cossack. So just have a little move side to side. Team, there's obviously a lot more stretches we can do. There's just a few basics. I like a little movement flow, but I also know the push pulls are really good and the most effective way of getting you a bit more mobile. As runners, you obviously want a bit of tension in those hammies and calves. So it's a fine line. We want to just be at a good mobility, but also nice and powerful when I'm running as well. So unmute yourselves, let me know what was good, what was bad, and if you want anything specific, you can ask me or Pullen, and we'll give it to you on your mobility WODs.
That was good, thanks.
Good, Emma.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That's good. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, the retesting at the end did feel a lot better, so it's good.
Yay, that's good. That's why I think a retest is really good for this sort of stuff. It's hard to know that I've just been out for a run, so I'm really warm already, so it's hard to know, but I still felt a little bit more comfortable in that squat, I should say.
Yeah.
That's good. Good to know.
Really good.
All right, team. No worries. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Go enjoy the snow. If you've got questions, ask.
No, we're all right. I'm all right.
Thank you. Quite good.
Oh, Sam was doing it.
All right, Sam.
All right, Sam.
I'm in. Good morning. You all well?
Hey, good. Yeah, you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Too bad.
How's Mum doing?
Oh yeah. Sorry about this. The conversation going on. It's still recording.
No, it's all right. I'll stop the recording.
Yeah,
And we can
so
carry on.
it's fine.